What's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I am not. It just this winter won't stop, man. So they forecast a storm coming over the weekend, and it's kind of been tapering and tailoring, and they've been getting closer. And the latest prediction that we have gotten for my area tomorrow is 18 to 24 inches of snow over roughly a 36-hour period. It's unbelievable. We already have broken the record for snowfall for the past 3 winters this year alone, and it's just January. It's putting it to us hard. But anywho, normally what I would do is we would stream tonight. I'd do a whole bunch of fun stuff out here in the deep desert, and then tomorrow, when I'm just all by myself and a little lonesome, I would, finish up some tasks, and then I would tear the base down, and we'd go back to Hagen, and we'd wait. But there is a very good chance that I will not have power. I will not have internet. I may not have both. I know you really don't have internet without power, but the internet might be coming in. I just don't have a modem running that can do it. It's not uncommon for big snowfalls like that for us to lose all sorts of utilities. So I may not have the ability to tear down this base if I don't do it right now. And I would prefer not to lose all this stuff. So that's what we got to do. All right, a couple things. I want to tell you I am completely and totally unprepared for this. I knew the snow was coming and etc. But this is basically like, let's say you found out that, you thought you were going to be able to play Sunday, and then now you found out, no, you totally can't. How fast can we break a base down? And what to do. So, first thing we got to do is we have got to shut all of these guys off. I'm almost 100% sure I got full water. Okay, so I don't. I'm on 890, but that's still pretty big. So we're not going to tear these down. There we go. But we need to shut these bad boys off because the last thing I need is more water right now. The reason I say that is I don't like wasting anything. I mean, I built these machines. I took the time to gather this stuff, to use it. I don't want it to hit the ground. I don't want to waste it. So we have to keep our own sanity and feel good about ourselves. We have to figure out what to do with that 800,000 milliliters of water. So that is one thing we're going to do tonight. I don't believe I have anything in reserves that I could use. We're just going to take some filters out of this stuff. I'm going to leave the generators running. Power's not, not as critically important in this stage of the game. Because, I just shut the power off, take the lubricants and roll. There isn't a bank or anything that's made. Also want to point out I may have to do this. Oh, come on. I may have to do this regularly because we're getting some communications here for the team. So give me just a second here. I'm sorry. It was a work thing. I'm not going to even hit the be right back because I'm going to stay right here. So I'm very sorry for the strange silence. But real life. So and we're done. Okay, probably get a response to that, but that's okay. All right, so are we dying? Oh, well, at least we were in the shade. A lot of times I'll do that. I'll be standing out in the middle of the open, roasting. Okay, so the machines are down, so we're not generating any more water. So whatever we've got, roughly 830,000, I think, is what we're going to have to get rid of. So we got to find a way to do it. 890,000. Oh, that makes life even better. What did I think? Okay. So first off, easiest way to get rid of some of this is going to be with this big boy right here. So we will head down. How many plastanium? Only 81. That's awesome. Great. Now we're down to 700 and something. We got some materials here that we were making last night, so we will swoop them over into our carrier storage. If you saw my video about flour sand, you understand why we got this much. This is how much we got. 'Twas a ton. I thought about making spice. The problem with spice is, although it does use a good amount of water, it takes like 45 minutes for a batch to be done, which means if I like do 2 batches, I might use 150,000 water. But, you know, I got an hour and a half of waiting until it's done, and we got to be careful here. So we're going to keep pumping this machine here. And for that, we need to go get some strontium and some titanium. So off we go. I used to love winter. It used to be my favorite of all the seasons. And that was mainly because I didn't have to work out in it. I just, you know, could enjoy it. Now that I have to, like, go deal with it, oh, it sucks. It's terrible. 2 feet of snow is something else. We are good, though, as far as the household. We have plenty of food that does not require cooking or refrigeration. May not be gourmet meals, but it'll get us through any kind of problems we have. Most of our heat does come from electric-based sources. For instance, we have a boiler unit, but that needs electric to run the pump, so it will be down. We do have baseboards. They need electric in order to work. And we also have a wall-mounted unit that produces heat and space heaters, but they all require electric to run. Luckily, we have a fireplace, so worst case scenario, we aren't going to starve or freeze to death. Of course, we are a modern family, so a modern family without electricity, no television, no internet, might turn on ourselves pretty quickly. You've never actually seen my family, but I feel confident I can take them, so it'll be all right. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. So we're going to basically do our standard routes here in order for plastanium. I'm going to go ahead and pull aluminum as well. Whatever we can get this machine to do. The aluminum doesn't pull as much water per batch as as titanium does, but there's a lot of it out here, so we may not get the hits per ingot, but we will make out with the quantity. So yeah, that was a little too close, huh? We really wanted to be crazy. We could take the carrier out to like like the Stravidium Island and pull a whole ton of it. Same thing with titanium. I think we'll be okay. And if I have to stay up a little later than I'd prefer, just to make sure the machines are off and everything's done, that's alright. Oh, another thing we got to do is we have to make our little replicator gun. Yeah, we don't even have one of those. So we're going to have to make one of those. We got to at least make one trip back to Haga in order to get that. But the reason we're doing this right now is, like I said, I want to get that water rolling. Now I'm going to pass up I'm going to pass up titanium ore from this point on. I know I've got a bunch in a box. So we're going to look mainly for Stravidium. And I want to get back there just to get the machines going. I can't make plastanium until that Stravidium's done. So what we'll do is we'll get back, excuse me, we'll get back home, back to the base. We'll start up aluminum, and then we will start up Stravidium fibers. And then as we are able to pop in titanium, we will do it. Oh my gosh, 100 degrees. I would love that. Remember I said I was passing those up? Here I am not. I'm not getting the chat notifications because I did something silly. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Stravidium Island. Yes, Autopsy. There are out in the PvP sections. You're going to make me go out there, aren't you? There are islands out there that are incredibly heavy on a specific resource, either titanium or Stravidium. And when I mean resource heavy, I mean heavy. It is better if you can get a buggy out there, because you can just bank the heck out of it. If not, it's still worth it to go out with a with just the ornithopter and get what you can. But it's PvP, so you do run the risk of being ambushed. Oh my. Alright, that's going to be good for right now. That's going to get us started at least. So we're going to head on back. Now there is some stress involved with heading out to those islands because, like I said, you know, it's a PvP section. You know what? We're gonna roll up here. We've got some nodes, rather easily accessible. Come on, baby, make it. There you go. Get up there, too. All right, look at you. This is nice. Look at this. Yeah, it can be stressful depending on the situation in your deep desert server, whether it's highly active. If it's pretty low-keyed, then pretty touchy there, game. We're just gonna go this way. Oh, I thought that was a bridge. It's not. We made it anyway. Good buggy. I'm risking it, though. That's not good. That's how you lose your buggy. No. Mm-mm. One good thing about going to the islands, though, is if you head out there and, you know, you'd be coming back with a one buggy completely full of either one of the items, depending on where you go. That'll hold you for a long time. Like, holy cow. I did it once. Throughout the course of the week, I banked a ton of titanium ore, and I was like, man, I need so much strontium, and it isn't even funny. And I thought I'm gonna have to be carrying this stuff back as a raw ore, which is space and time consuming. So we ended up taking a trip out there with the buggy, and we got a full load there. All right, let's pop this bad boy over here. Oh, let's see. Well, we did all right. There's worse things. We got a lot of aluminum there. How much of this do we have? Let's see, we got a good amount. Okay. So, immediately need to come over here, get some strontium cooking. Boop. 328, that's good. That was not. I don't know if you saw that, but that water level barely went down. Aluminum's using 200, so that's nowhere near as cool as the 1250 you get with plastanium, but unfortunately we don't have enough. But we are going to do 300. What's that going to take us down to? 688. Still not awesome. But we've taken about 200,000 already, just in some real quick. Oh, you're spending most of your time in PvP? That's pretty good. Don't get complacent. I've done that. I get used to it being so sweet and fine, and there's never anybody out there, and everything's great, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the midst of something. So keep your eyes open, but by all means, man, you be you. Good on you. Tell you what, we'll take a look. I gotta bring this up, and we gotta go to that. And what do we have? They are right up the center. Straight up the middle. They are in 5 row. G and H. How much time? By the way, I don't know if you know this, but if you expand this, it gives you how much time. So look, we already got 2 hours of just aluminum production. Oh, that's garbage. That is terrible. I mean, that'll... Well, this will be done, but that's the rest of the damn stream, man. Oi! I could put it in Leader John's and take it back to my Haga base. The problem with that is I haven't been there in a while, so I'm pretty sure the Haga base is completely full. Ooh, I know something we could do. Okay, so we need to head back and make our projection so we can actually make a copy. This is what I was able to grab in the couple of runs in the caves and the testing station. Not a good haul. I did not spend as much time out there as I should have. Most of what we got this week is this right here. This did take quite a bit of time. And, of course, we did that, but it's not the best or the worst. Could have been better, though. Good chance for treasure hunting? Absolutely. I was actually at a large spice field yesterday and pulled about half of a carrier, half of a crawler. I got like 500 spice out of it. I saw some birds. Shai Halud came a little too close a couple times. It was not really exciting. Okay, but so what I'm going to do is I want to empty some of these containers. We're going to stick them in the backpack. These filters are going to go in the carrier container, though. So we're going to stick them in here. You should try to organize this. I don't have the option tonight. That's terrible. It's going to bother me, but what else can I do? So I've got about 90 volume that I can carry. So we're going to fill our backpack with as much stuff as we can. And we're also going to fill our scout. Now, honestly, I should take some of these higher volume things, like 35 is a ton for a single slot. So that actually would work better in here. But I think that's about it. I don't even need to take those. 12, it's a pretty good one. 3.8. Yeah, that's really the only big stuff that we have. So we'll bring you over. And then I think what we'll do, probably don't need to empty these guys out, but I think that'll be all. That's about all we can get, right? No, we can get more, right? About another 30. 23 it is. Sorry. So here we are in our backpack. We'll stick that in there. That gets us pretty close. And then we'll just fill it with a bunch of other nonsense. I usually save the backpack for these little tiny items that don't have, okay, that's a little too much. Don't have like 0.4, you know, come on. We're getting close. Do we do this extremely well? There we go. So within 3, not bad. And then the rest of this we're going to stick into Mr. Scout Ornithopter. Oop, oop. I'm not taking you or you. Okay, so that's just garbage. All the stuff in here was excess from when I was building and I didn't use it, so this all goes into the carrier. We can take some melange back home with us because we've got plenty of space. That did well. Probably should switch out like a 0.2 thing with some of this larger volume stuff. I could stick it in the carrier, but you know what? It takes up spaces. So as much as I can pack in here and take home right now, the better off we'll be. We're going to leave these here, actually. We'll remember that. Can't exit. There we go. That's going to have to be good enough for right now. So I'm going to take this stuff back to Haga. And we got to make our little copy gun so we can make a copy of this base once we get to that point. But the key thing is we did get the machines running. No. And once we get back, we're going to switch over to the assault. And we're going to bring our assault out here. The hell was that? But yeah, we're going to bring our assault out so we can go with that extra volume. Because we're definitely going to need some leader John transfer in order to make this happen. Worst case scenario, we could just pack it all up, you know. That sucks. I would hate to dump all the water. But worst comes to worst, I'd rather lose all the water than the rest of the base, you know. Going to the world map. There is also the option of hitting some stuff and then bringing it back to Haga if we really had to. But yeah, I want to just make sure that we get everything packed up before real life says you're not allowed to play. I'll keep you guys posted. Let's just say Monday may not happen. It's the snow's supposed to be over, Monday morning. But we're going to have a full day of dealing with it after having a full day of dealing with it. I don't know what kind of frame of mind I'm about to be in that case, so I think Monday we probably are going to... You know what? We'll commit. Monday we're going to have to skip. And now I'm getting another work text. That's never been there before. Okay, we're in a rush, so we're smashing into everything. I'm not going to take the time right now to sort it out. Like I said, we have issues, but we've got plenty of space here, so we're just going to drop all of this stuff into this box, and we'll take care of it later, eventually. Does not work well under pressure, apparently. Everything else we'll keep. So I made this because you can miniaturize your base, and this was going to be potentially if we were moving. So I made it, and then I was like, dude, what do I do with this? I can't put it in the base. So I got to carry it around all the time now. I don't know what the hell to do with it. Yeah. Also, we're going to have to pull from the scout. We're great there. Okay, so we'll eventually come back for the scout, but right now we need this big girl. Let's go buzz that odd construction. I don't know if we're catching something in progress or that's supposed to be something that I'm not aware of. Or what? It's awful high. It's going to cost us some fuel, but... He's supposed to be something, right? Might be a work in progress. So the reason I want to bring the assault out is we are going to fill all of the leader johns that we have. Put them in here. Then we're going to bring all the aluminum. We're going to head down again. We'll head out. Oh my gosh, I didn't make the gun. It's one of the reasons why we came there. Now we're hitting things. Clip way out in E8. It's got vertical and standard expansion. Will the new thingy work for next time, or is it just for transfer? I can't answer that. From what I understand, the reconstruction tool should work. I think you can use it to miniaturize and then pop anywhere. But use at your own risk. I would definitely do research on that and see. I mean, you can use the Solido gun, the one I was just talking about. Like the one I use here, like the copy gun I'm trying to make. I know you can use that for sure. I don't know if the miniaturizing one is going to quite do it. We are learning the joy of thrusters. We have put it on our carrier, so everyone can breathe a sigh of relief as Jack has put thrusters on his carrier. Oh, look at that. There's a big spice bloom. Okay, but like I was saying, I'm going to fill the leader john, stick them into that ship right there, into the assault, because she can hold way more. Any aluminum we have. And then I can go down to that base, and we should be able to start up some duraluminum production down there, and that's going to help us get through it. Let's see, we'll take that and that, and then we will plop them. Oh, they're already in there. Look at that. And that's some good shit right there. Sorry, YouTube. Don't flag me. I think in order to fix these, I need copper. I don't have copper. Oh, it's aluminum I need. Let's fix them up, right? We're going to make some use out of them. Kind of just been using these until they break, and then we'll recycle them. All right, so now I've got my main water and then a whole bunch of these guys. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to fill our containers down to 627. Awesome. We'll stick these back in here, and we will switch them out. God. So there's those 5. We'll grab these guys. Same thing. We'll come over here and repair them. Dupe. Just hit the space bar. Perfect. So this is going to get rid of a great amount. That'll be 50, 100, 150, so about 160,000. That's not bad. These guys are not going to get repaired because they seem to be like in decent shape. Build containers. Got a little button pushy there, sorry. Alright, so that's full. So now we'll come back here. We'll drop these 3 in. And we're going to switch back to the assault. They weren't really in any particular order. They were, but not an order that matters right now. That stuff we're going to throw out. Let's go ahead and grab these guys since we left them there. And we got that. That honestly can go in the carrier, so that'll be fine. We're actually in pretty good shape, guys. Oh, that's not in great shape. Come on, straighten yourself out. You're embarrassing us. You're on screen. Thank you. I'm going to just shig a wire over here to this. So that's... We got stuck there. I don't know if you guys saw that. So it's a good thing we were able to shig a wire back out of it. So it does kind of appear as though we don't have an option to use enough materials here and get done at a decent time. Yeah, I could go around and do a bunch more plastanium. We could have this thing running for 10 to 12 hours, whatever. Guess when I wake up in the morning, I could log in, but I don't want to do that. I've done it. I've done it for quite a few games, actually. Alright, work texts. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. Almost crashed there. That's why you don't text and drive. Alright. So we're going south. This is the entry point we use to get to the monastery base. So there we go. Okay, so that's done. That should be fine. We should be good. Hit the microphone, made horrible sounds, and we have completed our run. Oop, we're going in here. Now this base should be completely full of water. Been a long time since I've been here. So she should have had plenty of time. That wasn't cool. Dude, you need to calm down, man. Yeah, that was a horrible spawn. Alright, so I do already have some aluminum here. So this should be just fine. Boop, boop. Put that over there. Then we're going to come over here. And yes, we had some duraluminum already being made, a whole bunch of it. Let's stick that in the buggy here. Looks like we got quite a bit of duraluminum. Aluminum ingots, we can make 837. Boop. That takes a good chunk of the water away from this base. So now we're going to come over here. And we're going to get in because we're an idiot. But yeah, we're going to start the process of getting... Okay. But yeah, we're going to start the process of taking these things and one by one, well, groups of 5 apparently. We're going to come over here and we're going to drop them in. Now, what I'm going to do first, though, is we're going to come over here and, oh, nope. We're going to hit inventory, and I'm going to take this, which is the one that I use. It's in really great shape. This is the one I use on a pretty regular basis. So we are going to, yeah, we have enough space. We're going to switch it. Oh, I can't switch it with that. We'll switch it there. Perfect. So now this is in my regular inventory, not in something that I'm holding. And now we will access this. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be switching these guys in and out, and if I keep that on me when I do a empty containers, it's going to empty it and use some durability from it. I'd prefer to save it because it says deposit all water, which on your loadout, it's up there too. So we're going to deposit all water. That's great. Now we can come back here. And I could hit the button to just switch them all over, but then it might pull that one. So should be able to do this. Yeah, that's fine. Boop, boop. Ah, I gotta park much better. Really gotta park better. Take a drink first. Deposit. Probably should have taken a drink out in the deep desert, actually. Every little bit's going to help. Okay, so now we'll switch you guys. Almost took a drink again. Deposit. So this worked out pretty well because we were able to get a ton of water out of the deep desert, but it's also not something that's going to work again. Reason being is I probably used up all of my aluminum. I don't know how much. We'll check, though. We'll see how much did we fill up? Oh, good. Didn't use it. Okay, so yeah, we filled up. Dude, this is awesome. Okay, so we're going to actually come over here and we're going to queue up as much of this as we can make. Awesome. Boom, look at that. Every bit of water we had. All right, we found our method. So now we don't need to make anything else out in the deep desert. We can just do this run back and forth until this sucker is empty. And we got plenty of space. So that works. We get the hell out of here, though. That's for sure. So I could head north, and that's where home is. And that's where we got to go in order to make our gun. But it's the same either way. Just go into the world map. So we'll do that. The Great Revolt took away a crutch. Boop, 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 boop. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to have much time. Apparently, we're starting our plows at like 10 in the morning. I know that seems weird because it's like 16 hours away, but all of this just because because I forgot it last time. That's what happens when you hurry. When you're in a rush, bad things occur. There's more. Someone's building this. There he is. He's all the way on the top. Hey, what's up, dude? You go with your badass self, man. I got a new neighbor. I'm literally coming here just to get the few items out of the backpack and to make the copy. Guess I could bring that. She's almost completely broken. We're gonna. But you and you and you, no, you guys stay. It's right outside the door. Okay, so any of those construction items like that, they come from your standard survival fabricator, not the fancy one. And that's what we need to make right there. Boop, 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 boop. Used to copy and reproduce the layout of a base. I can make 700 of these things. We just need one. I should probably make 2. We'll stick one in the carrier. The carrier container. For next time. It's actually a bad idea. I mean, it's not horrible, but could get confusing. We're going to leave that there for right now. I don't need to add any more silliness. Should we go make an impression? That's about as douchebaggy as I'll get, you know. It's a shame he's building up so high, because I could have gone up and watched and saw where he actually was and then buzzed him like him instead of just buzzing his base, but we'll see. What's up, Chopper? How you doing, buddy? Oh my gosh. Ah! I try not to do that. Doesn't matter. Just try not to. Okay. Dude, 24 inches of snow. What? Oh my god. I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow. I'm gonna be able to go to sleep. 24 inches of snow in one storm. The previous winter, I think we only got like 20 inches of snow the entire... We cut it too soon? No, look at that. Almost like we know what we're doing. But yeah, I think we only got like 23 the entire season. It's also good to know that I'm technically not alone in my misery, because there are a lot of states that are getting this storm. I'm a New England, like Northeast area individual, so... But like Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, all those areas. Everyone's going to get a bit of this bastard. Could be something else, that's for sure. Alright, so unfortunately we got to do the same damn thing. It's going to take forever, and it's going to make me upset. This we're going to keep because we need to fix it. So let's go over there and do that just right now before I forget. Because I will. Boop. Perfect. Okay. So we can keep those. Actually, we can keep those on us. And we'll go back to the assault, and we'll continue. I'm a catastrophe tonight. It's a good thing we're not doing anything that could be potentially or remotely dangerous, because I guarantee you we'd be dead. We wouldn't survive. Too stupid. Alright, fill containers, thank you. Come back here. And we'll just do it this way, just so we could switch things. Let's put you up there. Boop. How many more can we get? That's pretty good. I just had a deja vu moment. I remember having to do this once before because bad things occurred. I don't think it was a snowstorm that time. I think it was me making poor choices or something. But I remember having to siphon all the water out in order to, what are we at? 300. Getting there. Okay, so fun and adventure. Boop. Put you there. And this is so we can scan this base and get her into the gun. And that means we're free to tear everything apart, which is awesome, right? Boop. It's in there. That easy. I thought about making some changes. Wanted to do some little architectural differences, kind of spruce the place up. And then, of course, you know, catastrophes hitting, so we don't have the time for that. But I get kind of caught because of the way my base is built. Like, we've got all these machines here running, so this whole first floor has got to kind of stay until everything sets its, you know, does its course, gets done. When things start shutting off, we can start tearing them down. For instance, I'm not going to grab spice. We take the spice refinery down, take those boxes down over there, start putting that stuff away. Great. The desk stills, we'll go ahead and say done. The last thing we want is more water. We can get some of these generators out of the way. I could probably tear the sand crawler down apart, but we're going to have this guy here running for quite a while. And there's a good chance that this one's going to run as well. And of course, right above us is the hangar for the carrier. And that's one of the last things that's going to be coming out of here. So we got to kind of keep this intact. Can't tear this area down. Otherwise, if we do, I know a storm's going to come through, damage the hell out of it. So it needs to stay under. So we do kind of get caught a little bit. But when I'm going to tear things down, like for instance, right, we're going to tear this guy down. Boop, boop, boop. I cannot hold all of that. Even if I stripped everything down, I can only do 175. It takes way more than that. You can build it through storage boxes, so if you put all the materials in there, you can access it. But when you destroy it, you can't. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm near a box. Let's go ahead and I'm going to stick this one down here because we're not going to carry it with us. That'll work. Okay, so this box should be technically empty, just a couple things down here. What I like to do, which makes this so much easier, is not have... Interesting. Okay, so see, this one has a check mark. That means there's a base inside. This one does not have a check mark, which means there's not. So they were smart enough to realize how dumb I am. So thankfully, we're there. So I go and stand next to this box, and now I'm going to go to demolish, right? And it shows me how much I'm going to get back. We click the button, and now it tells me my backpack is full. But the stuff that I couldn't hold is right here. So I can just real easily... That was it. Holy cow. Oh, it was up here. Okay. All right. I get you. There we go. Okay. So we unload that, right? And then all I got to do is look down. And I don't even actually have to hit E. I can just do that. And then I can hit F and quick deposit. Now, quick deposit won't work now because I do have some materials that aren't already in the box. So we'll have to bring some of them over by hand. And we'll be able to quick deposit the rest of that melange. But I'm going to hit the button too many times. The cobalt paste is what really saves us. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. And then we'll do this. And there we go. So by having that box near us, it makes it so that we don't have to run back and forth and do stupid stuff. Everything that's in here, we're just going to stuff into the carrier now. Boop, boop. And we got a ton of spice. I was so close to making another batch. So terrible. Drop a dart in the floor and create a drop box just in case. Because I've had it before where materials all disappear through the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Lord? Somebody just landed. Alright, so we're going to kill these guys now. Doot and doot. They're both destroyed. And we'll put them over here. And this is going to be our transfer box. Now, honestly, we already had a transfer box, which was this one over here. So we could have just put it in there, but I didn't like the placement. We're going to go here, and we're just going to empty everything. Except for those. Let's leave these out just in case we need to fuel some vehicles, and let's leave these out in case we need to repair them. Our torch should be good. And that's it. Okay, perfect. So that one's not empty, but it is. These death stills we're going to break. And we're going to stand next to this box. It's got 5 bodies left in it. I really went through that. That actually was really full. And of course, we're completely full here now. So we go up here, and we'll just stick those in. I can hit F and it'll transfer almost everything. We're still going to have the machinery. But that's everything on the floor. So then we do this. And skadoosh. Oh, I guess I could now. Yeah, I could do it now. There we are. Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead and blow up the light bulb too. A little bit of salvaged metal for our troubles. The water tanks are a little rough because you'll come up to one and like this one's empty, which is cool. So we can break this one. And this one had stuff in it. So, of course it does. And this one's empty, and this one has stuff in it. So that one gets blown up too. We're close enough to this, so I can actually just skadoosh. And I wonder... That probably took a lot more than I wanted. There we go. Look at you. That's got 1%. 1%, really? It's 100. What's with this placement, you know? Like the ones that are full and the ones that aren't. Oh my gosh. Try not to worry. You know? Become obsessed with things that you can't control or can't change, because it causes you problems. And worrying is just a waste of energy, stresses yourself out. But I am... every time I'm sitting here doing stuff, I'm like, snow. Snow. Oh! How many times am I going to hit that button? So this one's got 1%. These two are completely full. And then these two are kind of a mixed thing. So we're just going to keep that there with this water we got to use. We don't need this box in here. So let's go ahead and we will dump every bit of this into boop, 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 boop. There we go. She's zeroed out. We're at 7,000. It's not bad. Boom. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put those materials in here. I could have just gone into the... What's going on here with my... Oh, I know. Because it put... Okay, I got you. Yeah, it put all sorts of crazy stuff in. I screwed myself up with that. I don't think I have a torch. I don't have any welding wire. We'll figure it out later, right? Boom. Actually, we kind of got to figure something out now, because I don't want to... I don't want to be down the road here and without that, the rest of the stuff, that'll keep us pretty well occupied. How much do you have in you? Nothing. I'm going to keep that, though, because we're kind of using it. 47, so not too many. Let's get over here. This is going to be a big hit to the water. Pop. And... Shoop. How many? 246. It's awesome. There we go. We're done. Unfortunately, it's going to take forever. Hour and 20. So we got 3 hours before we can actually shut everything down. Probably would be smarter to cancel some of that and pull the water out like I was doing. But you know what? 3 hours, that's 10. That might work. I could probably destroy most of the base around it. Leave just the hanger up top. Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do. But yeah, everything's done. That's great. And I guess worst case scenario, we could roll the dice on... No, we're not. I was going to say we could roll the dice on this and be like, hey, you know, we'll just grab it in the morning. Now, we are empty. Boom, boom. I can't do the... I was going to say I can't do the auto thing, but I did it anyway. It's probably one of the least fun parts of the deep desert is this breakdown, because it does take a lot. Oh my, I can't be this sore already, dude. Takes some effort. It's not the most fun activity in the world. We're gonna start taking down some walls. We can take down these, and on the other side of this is our where the spice refinery was. So we can take this down. Every little bit's gonna help, you know. See what I just did? So I ended up destroying the chemical factory because it was on the other side. Gotta watch where you're pointing that gun. Don't care enough now, though, because we've already got the production that shouldn't have put water back in. It did not. So we should be all right. I believe the machine was done. No, it wasn't, because we still got iridium masses out of it. Is what it is. I was actually going for that wall. And, oh, yeah, Jameson. I've actually got, in real life, I've got a storm, winter storm that's going to be hitting. And, it's going to be bad. I may not have power. I may not have internet tomorrow. If those were the cases, then I would simply lose all this stuff because I wouldn't be there to tear it down. So, for safety's sake, we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep all of our stuffs. We're going to break it down tonight. I won't be on tomorrow or probably Monday, I would say. So, that's why we're breaking it down now. All right, let's screw more things up. It's supposed to be a joke. It took the bottom piece with it when it... Oh, boy. They should have, like, a license for this gun. Like, you should have to show that you're responsible enough to use it. I am not. Holy cow, I am not. Yeah, we can take these down. I'm in a hurry, so it's actually a hurry of my own making. I don't need to be in this much of a hurry, but in my head I do, so that's why I am. Yeah, boy. I want to drop this into here just so we stop messing around with it. Since we started destroying machines, we actually are running much less power than we have. I should be able to run the rest of this base on just that spice fuel generator. I have 2 of them over there. So we should be able to break these. Now, when we do that, any fuel cells in there are going to fall on the ground. There's probably a lot. It's 100. It's not bad. What I'm going to do is we're going to drop that in there. And we'll do it manually so that, you know, there's no silliness afoot. And that way, at least we know where the fuel cells are going. I don't need these anymore, so we're going to go ahead and pack this one up too. Hit that button. That's going to be bad. Yeah, I knew there'd be a lot of titanium in there. That's okay, though. We're at about 8,600 out of 15, so we just crossed the halfway mark. We still do have a lot of stuff to break down, though. Boom and boom. All right. In fact, all of this stuff can go in there, so let's see how much this does to it. No. Go. Almost 10,000, so we're about 2/3 of the way there. But that was a good amount. All right, so I've got virtually no welding wire. So I'm going to take this, put this over here. We're going to pull the fuel cells back over. And then all of this stuff is going to go into the carrier. Come on. There we go. That's empty. And we're going to blow this up. And this actually can go now because we only got 9 milliliters of water. So we'll go ahead and we'll drink it. And now we can blow it up. Still got this box. Boop, boop. That's good enough for now. Okay. So what do we do about the stuff that's upstairs and on the roof? For that, we are going to take this box with us. Up the stairs. And we are going to stop right here. We're going to drop this box, and now we're going to blow these things up. We know it's going to fill us. That's okay. Go here. Drop that. Pick all this stuff up. I hate that. There we go. Okay, so there's one. And now when we blow these up, we can just do the F thing because there's nothing else of consequence in there. Oh, yeah, that won't matter. So these things should all be fine. I guess I could bring this over. Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring this over. And we will switch it out with that because that's what's supposed to go there. There you go. All right. But since these machines are off and not doing anything anymore, we can go ahead and get rid of them. Good. All right, so those three, that's 3 down. Pretty quick maneuverability too. And now we're just going to jump up here. We're going to select move. Come on. Bring that box up here and we'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to put that gun away for some reason. Yep. I normally would be out here until the end. I usually am one of the last people that heads out, but 24 inches of snow in the forecast. Here we are. So, so these guys, right? Like I said, I'm only using 766 on my power, and I'm generating 4,000. I could kill these guys up here on the roof. There's 4 of them. That's going to be 12. Still more than enough. And in fact, I can leave all but one. I'll leave one spice generator downstairs. So these guys we're going to kill. But before we do that, we got to get all this stuff out. And it's easier to just transfer it directly into the carrier. Guess there could be something said about maybe just all pocketing it, because it's not that heavy. And then just dumping it all at once into that. So, again, we're going to head over to the box. I think I can reach it. Oh no, 1 day and 22 hours. Boom, 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 and boom. So there we are. Tons of stuff, right? Stuff to go away? Good. No matching items. What's going on here? Oh, I haven't put cobalt paste in there yet. Silly. Yeah, everything else I could have done. It's alright. Okay. So the roof is predominantly clear. I'm going to go ahead and also clear off all of the structural work up here, because we don't need it. This is just the fancy stuff, not required for the base to actually run. Can't get it from here though. Boom, boop, boop, and that part will go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I've got to keep this hanger up until we're ready to get the carrier all gone. So that's unfortunate, but 'tis what it is. There we go. I was wondering, I don't think, yeah, I didn't put any of this in there, so that makes sense. All right, so 10,000, so we're coming up on 5. We're getting close. $11,000. Still got quite a bit of stuff. All right. Roof is clear, though. I'm going to hit the wrong button, by the way. So, there we go. Boop. Over here is where we got our big bird. We don't actually need her anymore, so we could probably take her back. Yeah, I don't want to leave this sitting outside. Placement's blocked by another object. That'll be good enough. So we've got just basically an outside structure and the double hangers. I got to break the sand crawler up. Let's do that while we're sitting here talking about it. And I'll break the buggy down as well, because we're not going to use either one of those things anymore. So we are going to detach and work our way through. Boop. We're at 91. That's good. 106. We can take with our loadout, current loadout, we should be able to take this whole buggy apart. Perfect. Storage. And not as sorry as I'm going to be tomorrow, dude. I'll get some pictures. We'll post it on the channel so everybody can see just how super awesome and fun life is here in the mountains. It's not even really big mountains, to be honest. Okay, so just a little over 11. A couple more things to break down. It's quite a bit of materials involved in this guy. So when she takes down, but it shouldn't be too bad. Same thing with those. And then it's surprisingly a small amount of plastone involved in all of this. So I think we're doing okay. If we weren't doing okay, what we can do is we can go over here, and we're going to have to switch this guy out. So we can fly back, and before we do, we can take something that's very heavy, like the 500 there. I think that's plastanium is going to be the most. If we really wanted to. We know that all this stuff here was fabricated out there, so it's not something that needs to stay in this container. So we can bring this over, and we can go back to the assault doctor. We can pop that in there. We can actually do a couple of those because we should have room on ourselves. Did I grab too many? No. Boop. Boop. And of course you won't. Of course not. Why would you? But that got us down to 96. So we just saved, what, 1,400? 1,500? That's huge. That'll definitely get us exactly where we need to go. And I can probably backpack the rest of this. You know what? We'll just take it. Who cares? So we will fly the assault back. We'll drop all of that stuff in a separate box. We do need to go through it. And then I'm going to leave the assault behind, and we are going to come back in the scout. We'll be able to pocket the scout, and then we could tear up everything up here because we don't need a secondary hangar. And then it's just a waiting game. So there we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I cannot fathom what's going on here. I'll tell you what, that's what we're going to end up doing right now. So we can actually take a majority of this down. I don't want to do too much here because that's where my carrier container is, but we can take this off for sure. And the rest of it's going to be structure. Now, what I like to do is once we get to the point where everything's down, we don't have to worry about it anymore, I will kill this pentashield, and then I will take the bottom row all the way around the entire structure. And once I do that, everything collapses. Some things will break in the process because there's just not enough support. It's too far away from something touching the ground. But instead of actually like taking each piece down, I just went through and took most of this because it was there. But once it's actually done, I will just take that bottom row. You could, I guess, go through and tear the foundations down as well. But I saw a person who built their base. It was literally just an entire base on like 2 foundation blocks stacked on top, and then it just spread out from there. So when they wanted to pack everything up, all they did was take out that one foundation thing, and the whole thing collapsed. That's some smart thinking there. But we're not that smart. And I like building my base on solid ground just so things don't disappear on accident. I couldn't imagine doing that, and in the process, like, the shield goes down and I'm too high or whatever, and it tears down that one foundation and the whole base goes. No. I'm not that brave. So, but I think we're going to call it here, guys, even though it's a little short, because this is boring as hell. Most of us have done this. The only reason I'm doing this early is because, like I said, hell's freezing over and it's coming to my area. But yeah, I'll get some pictures up of what we're dealing with and what we have going on. And I have one video that I'm waiting to do the voiceover work for, which I've been getting better at and having much more patience with. So it's been going better. That was always the part I struggled with. And I've got two more. One that I started with some footage for it, but haven't started putting it together. And then the other one I just was coming up with today. Um, Personally, I had a great day. I fixed Mrs. Rabbit's car. She had a ABS sensor that was bad. It was actually the wheel bearing, so I replaced a wheel bearing today. It was garbage. Went over to so I call a wife Mrs. Rabbit. My mom would be Mother Rabbit, but that also kind of sounds like I'd be talking about Mrs. Rabbit, but my Mother Rabbit lives in the same area. So I went over and checked on her generator. So if the power goes out, she'll be able to keep the heat on and keep stuff going. And made sure she had, a couple cans of gas and she had all the food she needs and everything. And I'll keep track of her. So I went and did that, and swung over to our shop, grabbed my plow truck, made sure it had fuel, everything's working, it's good to go. And then came home and did this. So I've had a very productive day. It's actually more, most of the time, my weekends are just me laying around going, oh, I'm so old and my body hurts. So it's been fun. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to cut it here, guys. Appreciate everybody watching. Thank you for all the comments. Jiggy, James, Chopper. It's good to see you guys. Autopsy as well. And of course, Ozzy. Stay warm. Stay warm, Ozzy. I hate that, but yeah, stay warm, man. But do appreciate. We've seen a lot of growth on the channel over the past week, 2 weeks, which is incredible. And I do greatly appreciate that. I hope that the stuff I do helps out, that you find value in it, that you enjoy your time that you spend. This one's a little crazy because crazy's all abound. But yeah, so with the exception of this coming Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, you always catch me here. We haven't logged into Battlefield in a long time. I like to play games because it's fun, and if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. And I kind of stopped having fun with Battlefield. I think it's still a fun game. I just stopped having fun, if that makes sense. We're going to get back into it, but all in due time. So maybe we'll see some streams interjecting with that. I'm not going to be playing Marathon because Bungie can... yeah. That's pretty much us. So, anyway, I got to call it here. But appreciate everybody stopping by. And as always, I will see you out there. So take care.